Okay, here we go. Previously in the GodBreaking, our group of heroes were in the ruins of the underwater city of Anwen. You had talked to Sashie, Queen of the Damned, adoptive mother of Asmodeus and former Lady of Hell, ruler of all Hell. She made you an offer of her power, basically, access to Hell Spikes, things that could end the life of any demon or devil, and grant other abilities as well. And all she asks in exchange was a bit of your soul. Once you had killed Asmodeus, you guys turned her down, everyone except Adis. Adis, you accepted the Grey Shard, and she flushed you guys out of her underwater area. You then proceeded to explore the city of Anwen, the ruins of it. You guys went to through various the dungeons and some cellars, and eventually made your way to the royal palace. And again, this place was a ghost town. Looked as if it had been evacuated in a hurry, years ago, of course. And flipping through various archives and looking at murals and records, you piece together the royal line, the royal what do you call it, the dynasty of kingship, and you saw examples of the Tide Shard and an amulet, a golden amulet, and it was passed on from ruler to ruler throughout the eons. The royal you were unable to find information on the current king, except that he had died, and you didn't know exactly who had the Tide Shard in the most recent era. So Deimos, you dug underneath the floor of the throne room, and you found a body inside like a sarcophagus. It was more of a skeleton, but you cast True Resurrection on it and rolled well. So you brought back temporarily King Triton, and he told you about his royal line, and told you about how his kingdom was laid out, and said that if things were being evacuated, or if they had left, that they probably would have gone to one of the outposts of his nation. And you guys, looking through the maps and the archives, had found that there is an outpost furthest away from the Maelstrom, from the Maw of the Void, to the northwest. King Triton also gave you some clothes, Deimos. He gave you a set of bracers, a crimson cape, a crystal crown, and a set of chainmail jorts to go over your tidy whities. And then, since he had been gone for so long, and he didn't really wish to stay here any longer, he's you know that the True Resurrection spell won't last long for him. He'll give up his soul again and return, since he's been dead for thousands of years, and the capacity for True Resurrection is only a couple hundred years. Anyway, you guys began to the battle outside between Profane 2 and the megaliths was raging. Adis, you lent yourself to the battle to try to protect Profane 2, and Deimos and the rest of you guys, you watched on in helplessness as Adis and Profane 2 were dying, unable to venture out into the deep waters because you guys are so close to the Maw of the Void and would have been swept away. Adis, in that moment, you used your miracle and summoned forth Big Deimos, and I think you also asked that Profane 2 be alive. I think I forget what you asked.
Yeah, I restored him to life and healed myself.
Okay.
And killed all the tentacle fucks that were within like 200 miles or some shit like that. I can't remember how big an area, but
That's
and then
right.
brought Big Daddy over in front of Big Papa Deimos, and then Big Papa Deimos crawled up in his mouth.
That's right. So you guys were here. You killed, or are you you killed all the megaliths. You made sure Profane 2 was alive, and you asked that Deimos be buffed to immense size and all his stats skyrocketing.
Oh,
Deimos went
and then
on.
wound up between his butt cheeks.
Yeah, that's right. And you guys made short work of um, this megalith that defied size, one of immense proportions. Broke him down, and you managed to polymorph him for a little while, and tried to extract some information from him. He was not really willing to communicate with you, and then you drove your hell spike into him and killed him. So that's where we left off. The corpse of this massive megalith um, is lying on the ground. It's beginning to crisp up as the flesh and the tendons and the sinew and the muscles have gone through some kind of decaying process, like a rapid decaying process. So his tentacles and his form have shriveled up somewhat and grown hard, but for the most part, and parts of him are breaking apart as the heavy ocean currents are beginning to break his body apart and carry it off towards the maw of the void.
As he's disappearing, can I try to learn his form?
Um, yes, go ahead and roll a arcane check. This would be why do you have advantage?
Because I have foresight. And I'm gonna spark that shit, yo. That's a 96.
1 second
And also,
here.
with advantage, he did drop a 14, so it would have been the same either way.
Let me remind myself how I worded that ability. If a creature is willing to resist, you can attempt to learn their form and adopt it into your repertoire. Once learned, you can personally assume that the
While
Okay.
he's doing all that, I'm gonna make my way over to Deimos' front, like where I'm at on his token, and I'm gonna measure myself against Big Deimos' penis to see how big he is.
It's like 50 foot long, yo.
It's
At
a slip
least.
inside. Aaron. Watch me play fire.
You gotta crawl around them Everest-sized balls first.
Did we ever actually also figure out what the trident and all that crap did, or was it just regular trident and stuff?
You mean the armor?
Yeah.
You did not figure out.
Okay.
Adis. So I'm going to say you can't spark the
Okay, that's fine.
the learning roll or have advantage, but since you dropped a 14 and your high was a 14, it doesn't matter. Okay. If this guy were a larger boss, he would have failed, but but since he's not that great in form, then I will put together a smaller version of that. So let me remind myself to make a note of it.
Sweet.
All right. All right. Cool. All right. What do you guys want to do?
Alright, Elwin, we need to go back and deal with the crabs while Deimos has the superpower. He only has it for 58 minutes and 32 more seconds.
I think I found the crabs.
Wait. Perception check. Is there
There's no
crab?
need.
Are there crabs crawling around on his cock?
They're trying to bite me.
I
forgot that head and shoulders shit.
his enlarged form, I guess it would have enlarged everything on him. Elwin, roll a high or low. Low is that there are, high there are none. Oh, you find no crabs on Deimos. He's squeaky clean.
I don't know if I'm disappointed or relieved.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
What do you think, Deimos?
I'm down for whatever.
All right, let's go turn away a crab army.
I mean, we can.
Because nobody should have to suffer crabs.
Wait. We have Deimos for an hour. Should we go to the crab army or should we go for the shard? We gotta.
We have no idea where exactly the shard.
Yeah,
It'll
we
take
do.
us more. It'll take us more
They
than an
told
hour to. It'll take us more than an hour to get there.
Dude, we're closer to the shard than to the.
I can't swim us there in an hour because I have to go against the whirlpool.
Can Deimos do a religion check to try to like isn't heightened form to try to feel through this entire plane who's the biggest thing, because Deimos wants to fight it right now.
You have a
He-
passive perception of like 60 right now.
Like I want to like meditate in the water to like find like big shit to beat up.
Because it's
Roll
a
perception.
long way to where the princess chick is, and it'll take us more than an hour to swim there, and you can't
So
teleport us there.
that plus
It's plus 54.
plus 54 more.
Well, no, in
Um,
total, so it'd be a 56.
56.
All right. So in the grand scale of the area that you can detect, let's see here. So, oh, by the way, so here's Lunaria. You guys are right now at the square near the Maw of the Void, inside the larger circle where only megaliths can swim. Lumos, where the crab army is attacking, is down here. The outpost that you saw on the maps is the other circle in the northwest. Deimos, your 54 perception allows you to. So you look around, Deimos, and your senses are heightened. You feel and you see like everything, even through the murkiest water. You're able to stand there, even in the middle of this whirling maw of the void. You think that, if you were to get closer, you would still be kind of swept away. But where you are right now, you're fine. Your intelligence is keener than ever. Your charisma is
Still shit.
magnetic. You are you're the perfect being in every way, along with being very great in stature. So reaching out with your heightened awareness and your mind, you seek to see if there are any large beings in the area. You listen to the swirling of the water. You taste the ocean saltiness to see if there's any kind of evidence of creatures or anything like that. And all this is processing through your mind very quickly. You're able to tell that somewhere in the faint distance, and you're figuring leagues and leagues away, right? There are still there. You sense that not all the megaliths died in this battle. The ones that were in the area were, but you're talking far away. There were some. This was the core of the megalith forces and population, but there are still some out there. You sense some, but other than that, for the most part, the depths of the sea here, especially this close to the Maw of the Void, any living creatures have been completely either swallowed up and killed or have fled far away.
Deimos, you gotta try it again. You've been endowed with the strength of a god. Try to tear space-time again.
I'm trying to crawl up Deimos, but I'm slipping on all the baby oil.
Everybody, hold on.
You can probably do it. You could probably do it now, Deimos. You could probably tear open
I'm
space.
there. Space and time. Where do we
You're gonna try to tear space and time.
It's gonna happen.
Might as well get the most use out of this as we can, Deimos.
All right, as soon as everybody crawls on, I'm going to tear space and time to either go
Oh,
towards the.
can
Okay.
Profane 2 talk? Is he like intelligent, like an independent entity like Profane 1 is? Or is he just a mindless automaton?
He's very low intelligence. He's more
Can he
like
speak?
the
I'll just be like, hey, what's up?
uh he's like the water.
That's good enough. I'm gonna turn you into an octopus so that you can travel more easily with us, alright, buddy?
He's going along with you because
We made a deal.
yeah, you made a deal with Lady Sashier.
Alright, so I'll turn him into an octopus and slap him on Deimos' arm.
Okay. All right, Deimos, what are you doing?
I'm gonna close my eyes, feel stuff, and I'm gonna rip it apart and step through it because I know that definitely that's
And
how you
Deimos,
teleport.
your destination is about a half a mile in front of the crab army. That's where you're going. That's where you want to go.
That's too far. Let's just go. We're right
Okay.
here.
Huh?
We're right here. That's
What
where we
you
need to go.
Yeah, I know. But there's not going to be anything to fight there.
Whatever you want to do, Deimos. I'm massaging like one muscle
Where do you want,
strand.
Deimos? Where do you want to go?
All right, well those geez, the shelf guys are they're dicks. I'm thinking if the all right, what do you think? So there's the if we take care of a little bit of the shell people, it might scare them off to where we'd have more time to go back to get the princess lady, who's probably still fine if she's still gone this long. Or she's surrounded by bigger monsters, and there's a thing called the Midas factor where he just added more shit to fuck him over, to where we might have to go over there and save her too.
Wait, do we know the princess's name?
Did you
Ariel.
check through the
Ariel.
archives?
Well, I don't know. They were the
Yeah.
ones that did the archive thing. Did we find out what her name was?
Yes, Ariel.
Her name is Corinna.
So Ariel.
You want it to be Ariel? I can rename her Ariel. Sure, fine.
Nah, that's trademarked. That's trademarked, bro. You're probably gonna get flagged for showing a picture of Trident.
All right.
Disney
so,
beat dicks.
all right, Elwin, what do you think?
Bro, I vote for getting the shard. That way, when we return to save him from the army, which we can handle,
We have 1 hour.
we can
Do
handle
we
that
think
fucking
we
army,
can
bro.
do it all?
And we bring back the fucking shard, we're gonna be in, dude.
I want to see if we can do it all. I believe
Gonna
us.
get so much pleasure.
We're
I
gonna
mean, we're gonna
kidnap
save
this
so
lady.
many people.
I think we should kidnap this lady, take her shard, shoot straight over to the fish, the crab people, and then we'll have everything. Less than an hour.
Right.
Ready to
Sure.
break?
Break. They shall bend entire space to Ariel. And then
Alright.
you'll get your shard, and then beat up all the crab people. For thy Deimos will be done. Praise Deimos.
And I'm gonna rip that shit. I'll rip that shit so hard.
All right, athletics check.
Think, Deimos. First we get the shard, then we kill the army, then we get the bitches.
Okay.
Remember, Deimos, it's whatever you
In a
roll plus
word,
54.
we're Deimos.
All right.
Yes, so plus 54 and I times 2.
So
Actually, it'll be plus 60.
And
So-
D4. 4 more.
so Deimos,
Yes.
still bristling with awakened power. Ada's using his miracle to bring you into this heightened state. You reach forward into the water, and your muscles flexing all over your body. Your muscles bulge out, and like muscles on top of muscles, muscles you didn't know you had, muscles that are do not exist anywhere on the human body, muscles that are only the thing of myth and legend, all flex up and bulge all over the place. And you close your eyes and you thrust your hands forward, and you can feel something in the water, right? Almost like it's very hard to grab, but you flex even harder, and you force yourself to grab onto it, and you rip it open, and you take a step forward. The rest of you guys, as Deimos does this, you see a searing bluish light, and you recognize the power of an awakened being, just burning off of Deimos's hands as he rips a hole in space-time and walks through it. I can't believe you're doing this.
Wait,
We have done it. We have done it, guys.
So Deimos in this
I
form.
always knew you could do it eventually, Deimos.
Deimos in this form, yes, can rip a hole in space-time and can teleport.
We figured out how to play the game right, guys. We've been fucking up on it all.
I always believed in you, Deimos.
Elwin links the video.
The brand new 2020 Explorer
Oh,
is
hold
at
on.
Robertson Ford
I'm
right
getting
now,
a Ford
redesigned from the ground up.
ad. Top 10 bodybuilders who took bodybuilding to the extreme. Oh, jeez.
Hold on, I'm skipping to number 1. I want to see this.
See number 1?
Hold on, let me check. Holy shit.
Is this last guy, this black guy?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm huge.
Oh, man.
Damn.
This is how like Deimos like talks to people. He's just flexing now while talking to people.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Does it
So-
even have an ass anymore, or is it just he's just one thing of muscles?
So Deimos, you look like that, except a lot taller, larger, and very, very much less black.
Oh, yes, probably true.
Okay, so you guys rip through space and time, and Deimos, you flex so hard that you not only teleport yourselves to this location, this outpost of the Enwenian kingdom, so you travel through space, but you also travel through time slightly. You guys arrive 4 seconds earlier than when you left.
Deimos,
Yes.
you've got 58 minutes and 36 seconds left.
You gain 4
We're
seconds.
sprinting, we're sprinting like as fast as we can.
Yeah.
Like whoever, right? We're going towards that princess lady.
Okay.
Get us there, Deimos. You got this.
We only have so much time. We'll clear Lunaria in less than 58 minutes and 43 seconds.
Jeez.
Go, go, go.
All right, here. So you guys get there, and this is what you kind of see. So there's all you guys stacked up on Deimos. Renly and Tempest are with you guys. Profane 2 is in little octopus form. The town, the stronghold of Deep Moot is what you guys are arriving at. So this is it's not a large city. It's more like a scouting outpost, but it did have walls. It did have defenses, or not walls, but like barriers. Underwater they had these membrane-like barriers around their cities. You saw them when you went to Lumos. But what you guys notice is that the city's barriers are much broken down, and swimming around in the water, you see a number of megaliths. Deimos, you look around with your heightened perception and wisdom, and you can tell that these creatures have been harrying this town for a while. They're not aggressively attacking. They're kind of just like patrolling around it. You see a few megalith corpses in the area, but you also see the bones and remains of thousands of humanoid, like merfolk type creatures. The city's barrier itself has been broken down, and the megaliths are actively swimming through it and around and in it. But there are, you can tell, a couple smaller barriers inside the larger one. Oops, wrong one.
Deimos, clap those fools.
Right there.
All you got to do is
And-
clap, and
I
it'll
clap
send a
my
shock.
cheeks
It'll
to
send a
shoot us
shockwave
forward.
at them.
There.
Oh yeah, you could flex your butt and you'll propel
Yeah.
forward.
Superstatic speed.
So you
I
see
wish
what?
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
No,
so
I was saying I should. I wish I shouldn't. I wouldn't have given my scroll of time stop to whoever I gifted it to and shove it up God Deimos' butt to see who would get more time.
So you see some megaliths in the area, and there's inside the larger city. There's a few barriers that are actually up and active, and a couple of the megaliths are like swarming or are like circling and swimming around it. But there's they've been here for a while. This place has been like this for a while. Okay. As you guys teleport and you recognize this, you guys step through the large tear in space and time that Deimos has created, and as you step through, the fabric of reality heals itself behind you guys. At this point, the megaliths notice you, and Deimos, you're the only person who can hear the psychic, like trans-psychic, almost like a subs. It's on the psychic frequency, but it's like a deep-pitched infra frequency in the psychic range. Mode of communication humming between all of them, and they all begin to turn towards you guys.
Yeah, I hum to them and says,
You should come over here. Let's do it. I have candy in my pocket.
So you're communicating with them.
Now beat their asses.
ass propel forward.
All
I
right,
start hurling lightning bolts and shit.
all right. Roll initiative.
I will, since it requires nothing to do it, I'll release the true polymorph on Profane and allow him to come back in his full glory.
Okay.
And I will ask him in whatever his language is, because I speak it, if he would be so kind as to help us deal with this I won't say tentacle, but deal with this trash.
All right. He's not even listening to you. He's already storming off in their direction because these things are his natural enemy.
Alright.
Ellen, you're up.
Lightning bolt comes out
Oh,
of
right.
Deimos' underwear.
Wait. Do you send it down the shaft to give it a supercharge from Deimos?
Yes.
I used the tidy whities to electrify it even more. His new tidy whities.
Well, no. If you send it into the balls, it'll come out the shaft. Then it might get supercharged.
I'll use the shaft as like a
The rail.
A lightning rod. Oh, like a rail gun. Oh yeah.
Who are you attacking? Ellen.
Megalith 3.
The power of Tempest compels you.
Let's see here. So, you're really charging it through Deimos? Is that what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. All right, cool. All right, so he fails. He fails the save. You can have a modifier. Give yourself a Is this just a normal lightning bolt, or is this your staff's lightning bolt?
My staff. It's 40d40.
So, you can roll max damage.
I clicked max. I don't know if that was max.
I wonder if it doesn't work to those dice rolls, like the.
No, max would be 1600.
Yeah, I wonder if it doesn't work on
Yeah, on those types.
printed dice rolls like that. Huh. You learned something new. Alright, so 1600 damage to this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Megalith 3 is there, and you zap it with this massive beam of lightning, and... Do I have a lightning beam? I should. Well, anyway, I think I have one here somewhere.
And then I'll just quicken a fireball.
Okay. Yeah, connected to Deimos this way, you find yourself so intimately connected to Deimos like this, you find yourself able to get maximum damage from your spells, or at least the that lightning bolt spell.
Ooh, nice.
Anything else?
No, I passed my turn.
All right, Adis, you're up. This megalith has a big hole seared through it. It's squirming and flailing in the sea, but it is still alive.
Alrighty. I will go turn myself into Baruch. And since I can cast 2 spells at one time for a total level up to 9, while I'm doing that, I will also haste myself, which will allow me to attack with Baruch Bridge.
Okay, you're a little taller than this.
And let's see here, where is the... Put this on me, because that's my shit from the form. And then, you said that Megalith 3 looks pretty fucked up?
Yeah.
Alright, I will... where's the fucking attack roll for that? I will shoot his ass.
Hit.
Does he have fewer than 100 hit points? Because if he
Yeah.
does, he needs to make a con save.
No, he has more than 100 hit points left.
Okay. And that's all I get to do.
Okay. Renly. What would Renly do? Would Renly go in?
Hold on, I'm gonna make a cup of tea.
Actually, I think Rinley probably needs to make a will save to not be fawning over Deimos, who has like a plus 54 to his charisma mod.
Really? Start
Like-
putting silver pieces in my tongue.
This is why she
Like-
chose not to play tonight. She
Yep.
couldn't handle it. It was too much. Too much charisma. Renly actually has a really complicated character sheet. She has some cool things she can do. I don't know if I feel like doing any of it. You look over, and she and Tempest are having a spot of tea at this moment. She
That's
sends
what I
off
was thinking.
some air elementals. Actually, this thing, 600 damage. This thing has 650 hit points left, so she's got abilities that can definitely do that much damage. So, Renly and Tempest, they travel off in this direction. She turns into a Leviathan or something like that, shapeshifts into Leviathan. Tempest riding on her back, and they go and they slam into this megalith here. You see a flash of divine light from Tempest's sword, and Renly casts a spell that wraps the thing in like these barbed thorns, and the thing goes limp as it falls down to the ocean floor, crushed and mauled.
She says, "Husa!"
Yeah, Deimos, your turn.
All right, Deimos would like to grab Megalith 5
Okay.
in one of his hands, run forward, and Profane 2 could probably take care of Megalith 1. Run forward, and so is this the circle of like the bubble wall?
Well, it was that's really like the barrier, the border of the town. So there's like a bunch of torn up buildings, and
Okay.
and all around.
And
The
I'll
little,
carry it
I'll
over.
do this. I'll draw it like that. So you're walking on like torn down buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then I wanna.
There's
the
corpses
second
and
I
stuff all
grab-
over the place.
Oh, I'll be polite about it, Beck. I'm sorry. I don't mean to do this in my bed.
I'm gonna grab Megalith 4. Then I'm gonna use a War God Blessing to grab Megalith 2. And I'm gonna start shoving them all into one Megalith 5, 4, 2. So that equals Megalith 11.
Wait, so you're gonna shove Megalith 2's head into Megalith 5's ass, and then shove Megalith 4's head into Megalith 2's, so a megalopede.
A Megalopede, which makes it Megalopede 11.
But do you take 2 and 4 and plug them into each other also? So it's like a big circle.
If I can, where's 4? Oh, yeah, so that's what. Yeah, so 4,
Yeah,
5.
put 5's head into
2.
4's ass, 4's head into 2's ass.
Because I have enough to
5's
grab
ass.
all of them, and then have an attack to try to shove them all together.
And they have and you have tentacles, so you can tie their tentacles together so they can't get the head out.
They'll never get out. Flawless plan.
So plus a
So-
lot more.
So that's a 75. Or no, you get +2 to proficiency, so that's a 81.
So these megaliths have they have like this corrosive natural defense when you touch them. Their skin like seeps acid and this psychedelic kind of compounds. You in your perfected Deimos form. Wait, what's the highest version of Super Saiyan?
Super Saiyan.
I don't know
God.
now.
Oh, Ultra Instinct. That's what it is. But it's the God Super Saiyan one's technically the highest.
True, Legendary Super Saiyan, Legendary Super Saiyan. I'm looking at this list right now. Berserker Super Saiyan Rose, Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan God.
I'm working my way up the west.
Alright,
Maybe at the next level, Deimos will get Super Saiyan. Oh, Super Deimos level 3.
Alright, this thing says that the true Legendary Super Saiyan is the highest version. Alright.
Probably.
So you are true Legendary Super Saiyan Deimos right now. And you can tell that these highly complex, highly potent chemicals that the megaliths are just seeping from their like slippery squid-like bodies. Normally would be like zapping through or like flushing through your nervous system and like totally corrupting your body, but your heightened legendary Super Saiyan Deimos form just burns it off. The heat of your blood boils away the acid, and you're completely unaffected by it. So you grab them and you shove them one into the other. So you have a circle of megaliths.
Squeeze them really tight together.
Okay, the circle of megaliths collapses down into a ball of megaliths.
And then I will pile drive it into the ground.
Okay.
Away from the people.
Alright, so the rest of you guys see Deimos raise a mighty hand up into the air, palming this ball of megaliths, like you know, imagine LeBron James going up for this monster dunk. And with every ounce of power that you have, you shove this ball of megalith into the ground. The ripple across the seafloor surges out in a shockwave around you, disrupting the dust and a bunch of buildings crumble. The shockwave of dirt and debris is all clouding the air. You feel the megaliths as soon as they hit the ground. You feel their squishy forms want to just spread out and splatter, but you will them not to because the grip of your hand is so tight. You just squeeze even harder to force them to stay together in like a one cohesive piece, right? And you shove them harder and harder into the ground.
I'm making an artifact weapon now. It's called the Ball of Megalith.
And after the goop and the debris and the murky water settles, right? You look down to the ground and you see a a um, a hardened crystal of compressed megalith jelly. There's just like it's not a perfect sphere, but it's definitely roundish. It has your palm prints embedded around it, your fingerprints and like the outline of your hand embedded around it. But yeah, you squeeze them so hard and create such force that their forms like crystallized and they became hard, kind of like when Superman makes a diamond out of a piece of coal.
Anyway, Ewan, you're not supposed to see your birthday present so soon.
Okay, so Profane 2 walks over here, like blasting all kinds of incinerating and streaming all this fire and death into megalith number 1. The thing is torn to shreds, just kind of like half swimming away, trying to run from the area. Elwin, you're up again. Oh, actually, no, it's his turn. He just runs. He uses his action. He can barely move, so he uses all his action to dash, and he gets only that far.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I posted on Discord.
Oh,
That door to the rescue.
Except for instead of 2 hammers, your hands are coming together on Deimos' cock, right?
Yep.
It's his third hammer after this one he has.
all right, hit it.
Alright, 1600
targeting-
damage each.
I think you think you're targeting the wrong ones, Owen. He killed all 3 of those.
Oh, he did?
Or no,
Yeah, he pressed them into crystal.
Yeah, he pressed him
but
into
we're
crystal.
making an artifact megalith weapon.
Oh.
Okay.
There we go. I'll target that one then.
Yeah, it fails.
1600.
All right, it dies. It shreds and falls apart. So all the other megaliths are compressed into crystal. They are no longer alive in any stretch of the imagination.
And I'm assuming Renly, yeah, they killed that dude up there. All right.
So
Yeah,
I peek over the tidy whiteys, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to see if I see anyone around for my
So
Point
the
them
rest of my
out.
turn.
Before those people start freaking out, I'll turn Profane back into a more less frightening thing.
okay.
Plus all the extra bonuses, I point out where the princess is.
I found your shit right there. We have no time to lose. We've only got 57 minutes left.
Wait. Hold on. That was only technically like 2 rounds. So we still have 58 minutes. We had 36 seconds, so take off 12 seconds. So we've got 24, 58 minutes and 24 seconds. So make
All right,
it
you're the
snap,
timekeeper.
Dennis.
All right.
Can we get
Can
to
I
the top Mount
telekinesis?
Celsius this time?
Can I telekinesis the crystal that was made into this from those things into the tidy whiteys for safekeeping?
Yeah, it's
And
about
use
the-
that later?
Actually,
Yeah.
I'll keep smushing it down smaller and smaller and smaller while they get the lady really fast, because I will break everything if I go in there.
Okay. All right. So you crush it down to about the size of a basketball.
Yes.
This is super compressed megalith essence. It's like you're not sure what it is, but here, make sure you guys write down that you have it.
All right.
I don't know what you'll do with it, but that's what it is.
Deimos, call it a megalith crystal ball. Crystal basketball.
Hey Deimos, what was the king's name? The one that gave you the
King
trident and shit?
Dragon. It was also
King Trident.
his name was Terry Crews.
All right, Terry Crews, King Titan. Give me his crown and his scepter.
Yeah. Oh,
And
put
his
the crown
trident?
on? Yeah. It's in my back pocket.
Just joking.
You guys are wasting time. Hurry up.
Hurry, go.
So I'll grab it and I'll swim
We've only
forward.
got 57 minutes
And-
left now.
I poke a hole in their building and open it up for Elwin to get inside.
We're friends. Look who we did.
Yeah,
We
so
need to
you
help
so,
right now.
so you go up and you punch a hole. Your finger, you like pop a hole in their defensive bubble, right? And you can see Elwin inside there. You see a bunch of faces of these Anwenian people. You look around and you see that there's only and they're living inside the buildings in there. They've been here for a while, and you looking around, you can tell that they're kind of barely surviving. Judging by the corpses and the skeletons in the area, they've been trapped here, fighting off the megaliths for quite a while. And they've been basically down to their last hope, their last bits of resources. But the Anwenian people are much more humanoid looking than the people of Lumos or Votalin. They're their forms are more human like. They do have mermaid tails, but they're pretty much the classic mermaids.
Okay. As soon as,
They're actual Atlanteans.
as soon as I look in and I assume that there's fear on their face, I hold out the crown and the scepter, and I say, "We come as saviors. Your ancestor has sent us. Is Ariel here? I can show you the..." Oh no, wrong movie.
I have so many things, I don't know what to call them. Gadgets and gasmus galore. What do you call it? It's a thingamabob. I don't know the rest of the song.
Deimos, you're causing
Get in my
shockwaves.
pants.
You have to
You're
go
causing
ask.
shockwaves.
If you want to know the rest of the song, you have to go ask Gelly. She knows the rest of the song. half of Gelly's dialogue is quotes from The Little Mermaid. Okay. There's only a couple hundred of these Anwenian people left, and they look around for a little bit. And as you hold up the scepter and the trident and the crown, there's murmuring going through, rippling through them, and they point backwards and they call out, they call forth their princess, and she swims forward to you. So you serious? You want her name to be Ariel?
Does she have red hair? Hold on. Well, does she have red hair though?
No, she does not.
Then it can't be Ariel. She doesn't have red hair.
Fake killer.
Her name is Corinna. Alright, so her name is Corinna.
Corinna. As soon as she swims up, I will show. Corinna.
Ewan.
Well, how you doing?
Deimos has got a new target for his affection. Or Elwin, I mean.
Ewan.
Oh, like after
Stuff to her on the way.
after like a few seconds, I snap back to like, oh shit, time crunch. I
We're
say
down
Corinna,
to-
and I show respect. Like I bow my head, and Deimos should understand. I think to myself, I think these belong to you. Hand over the crown and the scepter and the trident.
She reaches out and she takes them. She says, "These were interred with King Triton, the founder of our people."
Yes, we found your ancient city, and while we were within it, it was being attacked by these megaliths. We were able to bring him back to life for just a few moments. He expressed the love that he had for his people, and he was the one that told us this is where you would be. Come, there's not much time. We can explain later. Bring your people.
All right. There's a bit of this is a lot of information pretty quickly. She says, "Anwen still stands. It has not been reduced to soil and rubble."
It has not, and we will help you bring it back to its former glory, but you must come with us now.
Deimos, get ready to rip a
Do
hole.
you need a hug?
She says,
Yes, I do. And I
"We've been
pick
here
up
for
the whole
years,
town.
barely surviving. She says, if you bear the scepter and the crown, and you've come to save us, you must be from the gods."
Actually, I would like to introduce you to one. And I move out of the way and point at Deimos. Oh, by the way, I'm also a god.
Yes.
She looks up, and Deimos, you're like glowing in awakened energy, like fully standing there, just like popping, just like your tidy whitey's barely covering any part of you. And she raises her hand to her mouth. She says, "Oh my, the gods do walk Lunaria's surface again." She turns, and you hear her speaking authoritatively to her people. And she says, "We will come with you. We are few now. We have lost many of our number, and virtually all of our heritage and any of the artifacts and memory stones that we brought with us. We've been fleeing for so long, but we will come with you."
She has it.
Do you still have the... Hey Deimos, what was it called?
Richard, it's right there in her face. I can see everything. By the way, your butt looks amazing.
Thank you.
Squats.
Wait,
I
Deimos, what are her measurements?
I don't know. 37, 42, 66. I have no idea. These numbers are back in my head.
So
Deimos is still bad with numbers.
Deimos, she looks up at you, and she feels your blazing awakened gaze just staring at her, and she covers herself up with her arms.
You can. That doesn't even work. I'm not even trying. I'm looking the wrong direction. Hurry up. Jump in my pants. We need to go.
She says, "We lost much in our flights from Anwen. My mother, Queen Regent at the time, since her sister, Parthella, had gone off to war. My mother, Harmeli, her twin sister, led our people, commanded us to evacuate. She forced me to go with the remnant of our people. She bore the tide shard."
Right.
Told you we shouldn't have come here.
Where's the tide shard? We need it so bad.
L1, 55 minutes.
But it's with the crab people. Wait, anyways, jump in my pants. We'll get that tide shard.
"I am a princess. I will
don't
not
care.
jump into those trousers of yours."
Fine.
Tries with it.
Then leave them here. Leave them here, Deimos. Just
Alright,
they don't have
fine.
they don't have what we need, so let's just leave their asses here.
Ooh.
Where is
Oh,
the
it doesn't
tide
say.
shard?
She says, "It's been years, and it's hard to recall it because it was so difficult. But when we fled, my mother stayed behind to hold back the onslaught of these monstrosities that you slew here." She says, "There was one dark, monstrous, larger than all the rest, with teeth and eyes that burned. He commanded them, and I saw my mother summon the power of the tide shard. She was not our rightful ruler, so she could not wield it as it should be wielded. And the monster destroyed her, consumed her, tore her flesh from bone. That's the last I saw of her and of the tide shard."
I'll be like, was it this dude? And I'll make a like 1/4 size illusion of the dude that Deimos crawled in and skull fucked.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
She gasps, and the people kind of like shudder. She's like, "That's him. That's the megalith, the monstrous creature that has rained terror all through our lands."
You see that big shiny guy?
That was.
Yeah, he crawled inside of him and tore him apart from the inside.
He's dead now.
She says, "Gods be praised, you have rescued us. Did you find a tide shard amongst its remains?"
Man, I can
shit.
take this tooth from him.
Alright guys, we gotta go.
Guys, everybody jump out. We're going back. We're
52
going back.
minutes.
The people
52
all swarm forward, and they all run around you, and they're like grabbing onto like individual hairs on your legs, Deimos. You see mothers grabbing children and taking like a leg hair and like wrapping it around their waist like a seatbelt.
Hold that tight, suckers.
And as soon as the second we can.
We will step on back through to the megalith Ethel. We're going back.
All right, where are you going?
It's only been a couple minutes.
Back to get that.
Wait,
tide shard.
hold on. As a point of order, Midas, since at the time that guy died, if he had it on him and it fell out of him, Deimos would have had like a passive perception of like 60. How did he not see it?
He wasn't looking for things. He was looking for other creatures.
It's true.
It was also
He
inside
could-
its body. You never even saw it.
Because
It's
it
still
doesn't
there,
completely
then.
disintegrate. It turns into
It's
like a
not going yet.
gelatinous thing, right? Yeah, that's
It's
right. I
not-
forgot about that.
Go. All right, I
Hey,
step
let's go,
forward.
Deimos.
I
15 more
described it pretty
minutes.
clearly at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, I remember.
His body had like hardened up and partially decayed, and it started to break apart in the waters that are swirling through the area.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Alright.
if we go back fast, he won't be fully gone yet. We'll be good.
Yeah, we've only been gone for we've only been gone for 2 minutes.
Yeah, go.
4
All right,
minutes.
Deimos. Athletics check. Yeah, you shred time and space. What'd you say,
Oh, shit.
Ellen?
That I'm holding tight onto the princess.
Okay.
Where
She look-
where exactly are your hands at, Ellen?
You don't want to know.
Ellen, she turns to you and she looks into your eyes and she says, "You are marvelous. Your hands are so strong and firm. You must be a creature of such incredible power and honor to be traveling along." And she looks over at Deimos dreamily. With him.
Wait, no, Elwin's the boss, actually.
100
Where this is
charisma. That 100 charisma.
All right. So you guys.
How many of the merfolk women went for his tidy whities? Out of curiosity.
Every one of them.
Here.
It's my domain. There's a welcome mat that says Elwin. Those are
17
my
of them.
tiny whities.
17 of them. All right, Deimos. So you teleport. You rip time through time and space, and you find yourselves back at the city of Anwen. There's a gasp of shock from all the Anwenian people that are attached to you, and you're carrying along with you. As you get there, you can feel that the fact that the mothers all tied down their kids and everyone's holding on is a good thing, because the waters here are turbulent. They're voracious. They're ripping and tearing and very violent. None of these creatures would have been able to swim in this area, and you can see that these horrid tempestuous waters have begun to already scatter much of the remains of the body. You roll a perception check, Deimos.
I can see
Mhm.
everything.
Plus a lot more.
That's 62.
So you get there, and you open your eyes, and you're using your awakened vision. You scan the area, looking for leagues, and you can tell that the body of this thing, since the waters are so violent, had been ripped apart and spread all across the ocean floor. You see bits and pieces of it all over, for leagues and leagues.
Now can I hone in on a magical stone circle?
So what are you doing to be able to do that? It's not visible because it's inside part of its body.
I'm trying to feel out to think they have godlike powers like my friend Tempest.
Hey,
Because he is
Deimos,
the one
do you have
Hold on,
locate
I got an
object?
idea. I got an idea. I'm gonna holding on to Deimos to channel his power. I'm gonna use my 9th level spell slot to cast Wish, and bring the tide shard to us.
I
from
would
the
like
remains.
to assist him with a flexing check. And also, like, I'm gonna do that, like, from that movie. I'm
And
gonna
I'll
do
spark it.
The blue steel.
Casting
That,
wish.
like, make
Oh,
the
oh.
face. It's like-
Zoolander?
Turn my head to the side, like, I'm Zoolander. I'm like,
Deimos, you should see if you can thump the water and cause the perfect chain of shockwave events to just knock it to us.
Oh, that's what the athletics is for. It is quick. Give me your mask. It'll make me more powerful.
All right, Elwyn. So you're trying to bring the tide shard to you.
Yep.
You cast a wish.
Now, if he's channeling it through me,
The way I'm seeing it in my mind, it's like in Star Wars, like with their force power when they call their lightsaber to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm reaching out to the tide shard so I can just bring it towards me.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like modifying the create one object that the wish that you can do as a wish, but channeling Deimos, hopefully that'll allow me to not create it, but just bring it to me like Accio and
Create the port spell.
yeah.
All right. So
I don't think that's too powerful or too far off.
okay, so you're dealing with a couple of factors here. Using the wish spell, you're able to locate it. It is quite a ways away, and you lock onto it with your wish and channeling all your might, and being in contact with Deimos, his divine power, his awakened power flowing through you. You're able to sync up with it, and you tether it. Like your magical tether that you and Deimos have.
Mm-hmm.
You tether it, and as soon as a tether begins, you feel an incredible pull. You realize that the piece of this megalith's form that the tide shard was embodied in has circled pretty close to the center of the Maw of the Void.
I want to, in his mind, I'll talk to
Aaron, I'm here for you. And I'm help you pull any burden you need.
and I'm gonna help pull on his rope with him.
Wait, Elwyn,
Nice
Elwyn,
and
could
slow.
you, since you did that, could you send yourself to the gym and then have Deimos yank you back?
All right. So, Ellen, you're locked onto this object. It's about the size of a necklace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're tethered to it. So it's like you have a long rope attached to it. But you know that it's directly in the direction of the center of the Maw of the Void, and it's everything you can do to hold on to the tether right now, because as violent as the waters are out here, you guys are really far away from the center of it. And you guys have, even when you first arrived, knowing how much damage it was doing to the surface and how it's basically shredding the continents of this world apart, you can tell that it's almost like a black hole in the center of the Maw of the Void that you're tethered to it. So it's everything you can do to hold on to it. You get the distinct feeling if you went to where it was, you'd be shredded instantly.
Yeah.
Deimos, tear open a hole in space and time to where the necklace is and reach through and grab it.
I stick my head against Elwyn's head.
Hold on.
So we can.
Before we do something drastic like that, I would like to try something else. Me being linked to it and feeling like having my chain linked to it, I would like to fuel this next spell with, let's see, something that can, I guess, empower or heighten spell.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll spend all my sorcery points
Okay.
to empower it and teleport it to me. What would you need me to roll?
Arcana check.
Fuck, I'm not good at that. Oh, I'm alright.
Yeah, you're real good at it.
Hold on. Ah,
There's a snap and a um, and the rope in your hand, the tether goes slack as the object at the other end vanishes, and you look down in your hands, and Elwyn, you're holding this golden, inlaid with silver amulet and a delicate chain wrapped around it, or connected to it.
Alright.
Since I'm still holding on to the princess, is this the tide shard?
She exclaims, "It is. It's been passed through my family for generations."
I hand it over to her and tap on Uber Deimos and tell him, "Let's go."
Deimos,
50 minutes left,
Elwyn.
Deimos.
look up. I guess we're already at the other place.
That's like 80 something.
Yeah, Deimos, you shred the water and the space, the fabric of space and time around you, and step through it. So Elwyn, as Corinna grabs as you place the tide shard in Corinna's hand, it comes to life. All the sigils and runes and indentations around it glow. As soon as she touches it, these things are basically they're set there. The way they work is that only the rightful ruler of each of the cities can wield the power of their corresponding tide shard. And Corinna, being the only member of the royal family still alive, she is now the rightful ruler of her people.
Yes.
Okay, you guys step through the tear and arrive back in Lumos.
And I'll be like, all right, y'all. I know the big shiny man's got enormous sex appeal. I feel you, but get the fuck off and get in the city.
All right. So the people begin to disembark from Deimos, and they're scrambling. You guys arrived in the center of the city of Lumos, and all around you, you can see evidence of war. The combined armies of Votalin and Lumos have laid multiple layers of defensive works. You can see artillery like sea creatures just like spewing forth glowing orbs of energy. Spellcasters are radiating, and communication lines are going all around. This is a full-scale war. Right now, you've dropped off the survivors of Anwen in the populated zone, the place where all the civilians are. And looking
Is
around,
the city under attack right now?
yes, the Depatians have arrived.
All right, Deimos, let's go.
Hold on, Deimos is not here. Hold on.
Oh, he's not. Okay. Yeah, we should wait for him to get back. He's got to go use his magnificence on these Depatians.
Okay. So there's hordes. This is a picture of just a couple of them, but there's millions of Depatians.
Oh yeah,
all,
these fish done fucked up.
Yeah. All crawling in the direction of Lumos. You can see throughout the battle, sparks of power and light. Hear the screams of warfare as various battalions and various regiments and army units move in coordinated attacks. The General Roman is calling out orders along with his command from his command vessel. And
Can we see him?
General
Like,
Roman,
is
you'll
he
have
nearby? Yeah, I wanna
he's within
holler at him and
eyesight.
tell him to come-
He's a bit away. You'll have to go to him.
Okay. Okay.
But General Roman is
When did-
definitely in the area.
Wait, he's the dude that killed me, right? He's the cool guy.
Yeah,
He's not the dick fuck with the other shard.
correct.
Okay. He's the one that wants to get it on with Deimos. Oh wait, no, that was Elwin.
Yeah.
Was it? I forget.
Yeah, because Elwin cast that spell on him.
Oh, that's right.
All right. Oh, he's back. All right.
Deimos,
Yeah.
walk over to General Roman's ship and get his attention. We need to have a talk with him if we're going to end this without all of these idiot fish dying.
Okay.
I throw you towards him. I yell at him.
General Roman.
No,
Listen
I
to the
need you
masked
to.
guy.
I need
He's
you
not
to,
the
Deimos.
same.
I need you.
Alright.
It's like 2 steps for you, Deimos.
I take 2 steps.
So you travel through the water, Deimos. It's a little bit of a doggy paddling because his command vessel is like up above the seafloor, higher up in the water. And being in the water, the battle is not just on the ground; it's also up through multiple layers and levels. There's many Depations that can swim, although the vast majority of them are all consigned to the seafloor. So the merfolk are trying to rain down death onto these things, but their hardened shells prove resistant. General Roman turns to you. He says, "Gods in heavens!" He says, "What happened to you, Deimos? You are
There's
magnificent."
that. I have no idea, but everything's small. Listen to Adus. He has things to say.
General Roman, I have a very simple question for you. Do you know why the Depations are attacking you?
He pauses. He says, he says, "No answers directly. We had assumed that since the Maw of the
Don't
Void is growing, that the trenches from which they live had become uninhabitable, and they were moving in our direction
Let me
to
ask
seek
you this
safety."
then. If there was a kingdom of sharkmen, to the north of your kingdom, and they were kidnapping your people and torturing them to death or hunting them for sport, what would you do about it?
I would slay them.
Really? Seriously? That's what you would do? Huh.
I'm gonna
Go
stop
figure,
this.
since that's what
Hold
you
on,
do to these guys.
Adis. All right, this is a stupid line of questioning. General, we have found the third soul shard. Where's the princess and where's
We're not committing a genocide, Elwin, when these stupid fish brought it on themselves. We either
Alright,
stop the
General-
fighting outright.
General, you are more than free to kill him again if you like, but we have the other shard.
In the meantime,
And I'm gonna say, this is my future wife and princess.
So Kryn is there.
in the meantime, I'm convincing all the crab people that we are all on the same side. And Tempest is, yes, our true Lord and Savior. We're not only he can
Go
give
do
the
it.
stoke muscles.
Are you-
Yeah, I'm converting everybody.
You're
I'm
gonna go out there
converting
and you're gonna talk to them.
Yeah. I'm
All right, so
converting
Deimos,
everybody.
so you walk out into the middle of the battle. Back where you are, Elwin. General Roman he bows a polite and humble bows before Princess Corinna, and he sends word through messengers. He says, "Have messengers inform Depth Lord Lamprax and Queen Delvinia that the bearer of the Anwenian tide shard has arrived." And a couple of flounder fish go scuttling off. All right, so Deimos, you walk out into the water. So, there's
I go with him.
there's thousands and thousands of these things all over the place. You feel them crawling over your legs, pincers and claws striking at your skin, but nothing is breaking through. No blood is drawn. The a lot of these creatures, the higher form ones, these guys, and the large like tank-like things, like these guys, are full on trying to crawl over you. The little blue ones are sending icicles and blasts of energy all careening through you. We're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them.
Deimos, look for the leader.
they're all
Yes,
striking
sir.
your skin and breaking your form into your form, but you shrug it off as you walk out into the middle of the army.
I
What do you
message Deimos. Now you have crabs, bitch.
You called me
do?
out. Owen, I swear, I don't know how I got these. I'm not cheating on you, I swear.
I put Daedus's tiny hut over Deimos's dick and balls, so he can't get crabs there.
All right, so yeah, I look out and like for like the big people in charge, and then Papa Demos sits down in front of the big chalupa men, and I'm
Okay.
just like, or ladies, whoever's in charge.
I'm just like, hello, my name is Deimos. I think that we're on the wrong side. For Tempest is great and powerful, and he will bestow upon you many gifts such as abs and legs muscles and arm muscles and neck muscles and eye muscles and lots of
Deimos,
muscles. There's
don't say
always
don't say mussels. That's a type of underwater crustacean, and they might think you're trying to put nasty shells on them.
you get cool things that you want. I just think we're on the wrong side. What we really need to be doing is clogging that hole. Also, we don't like Asmodeus. He's an asshole. I just think that we all need to get along because Tempest said when you do 400 squats a day, it keeps the evil away.
um.
I'll translate all of what he's saying into Celestial just in case they don't understand what he's saying.
Okay. Back where you are, Elwyn, Princess Corinna looks to you and she says, "Divine Elwyn." She points over him. Is he always like this? His words are so mysterious and wonderful. Truly, my people would. It would take us generations to try to comprehend what he's spoken of.
Yes.
So I made
Deimos
these
is
pamphlets.
Deimos is a special type of person. It sucks that he's gay, right? Pepin's an indisputable fact.
Demos hears it and he's not even mad. He's like, players getting played.
You see a look of abject disappointment cross her face.
But I'm not.
While you're talking, Deimos, Tempest pops up from your shoulder and he says, I really do wish you'd stop using my name in these babbling, incoherent speeches of yours.
On the god Tempest, in his majestic glory on my shoulder. He is humble.
Tempest, you really need to lighten up a little.
He said, I'm just saying. He talks about me in ways that I really don't want to be talked about.
You should consider it the highest form of flattery.
Yeah, I guess. One of the patient creatures, you hear a chittering sound and kind of like emit from him as he steps forward, Deimos, and he kind of like swims up, so he's like floating, not at eye level with you, just below, like looking up at you.
It's my young child.
The creature says, "You speak to us with words of wisdom."
Yes, I've got wisdom from the massive amount of power I have, which is something I think you guys could understand. For you're also a pretty strong race of crab thingies.
Our
Therefore-
claws do not pierce you.
Yes.
Our spines do not harm you.
Nope.
We, the patients, were created by gods and followed gods working at their whims. Yes.
Which one? Which god?
Virkul, god of the sea, made us to maintain his oceans. Yes, and
Why are
you,
fighting these people?
because Virkul is no more.
Oh, well, I don't want to say anything rude. Virgo was an okay secretary to the secretary's assistant of Tempest. But I'm one of Tempest's friends, and Tempest does have to say, I can't speak for him, even though he's right there, is that you guys should stop being dicks.
Tempest
And
says, Tempest says, I've
you
never
work
had
for
a secretary.
you guys work for. You guys, we need to make this ocean a better place and save the ocean, not destroy the ocean. What would Verkul have wanted? You to destroy everything he created you for?
Verkul is no more. All we have now is Krabi. He tells us to slay the
Where's he at?
merfolk, the
Where's he at?
fair-skinned.
Where's he at? Where's he at? You tell me right now.
They
You
all
have
kind
no
of
choice.
point back.
I'm right where they point back. I'm already there.
All right, and they look back, and there, sitting at the back of the army, is this very large creature. He towers over the rest of the Tapatians, and this one guy in front of you says, Krabi has come and told us to tear apart the fair-skinned merfolk, for they only wish to destroy us and tear us down.
Oh, Champions
See?
Duel then.
Told you, Deimos.
Champions Duel. Champions Duel. Your leader against Tempest's friends and a Lord Fire God Skies, a friend, and Adrus, the man who has a mask's friend, and Renly, who is right now really high on mushroom tea friend.
The only reason I'd agree to go along with this is because you have 100 charisma right now. Otherwise, I'd tell you to fuck off.
I will beat the shit out of this guy in the name of Tempest, and then you guys all work for us, and we work
Hey,
together.
Deimos, Deimos.
Tempest.
Try talking to him before you beat the shit out of him.
You're the patient for asshole.
Don't insult him.
No.
The dude just got through telling you the reason they're attacking the stupid
you're
fish
right.
is because the fish are
Sorry about
dicks.
that. You're right when you're right. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. But the patient for a man who has a skull head.
His name's Crab B.
Crab B, who is yelling at people. Please tell me why you're doing this.
So you go over to him.
Yes.
As you
Pick
go
him up.
Yeah, as you walk over to him, he comes up to probably your, like, crotch level.
Oh.
He's pretty tall. As you're standing there before him, he looks at you defiantly, and in his eyes you see a a dark kind of evil glow behind his eyes. And he says, "There will be none of you left on this plane. I was sworn supremacy."
Or are you actually evil? Because I was gonna try to save you.
The gods do not belong here. This realm is mine.
You're right, it's definitely yours.
Deimos,
The patience, slay this defiler.
Deimos, crush him.
Okay. Everybody to patience. Look.
No,
he's in-
just the main guy, and then we'll
No,
make
no.
Division 1 the new leader.
No, I'm making sure that all the Despatians know that we're gonna have a one-on-one fight.
I'm going to.
But I'm gonna poke him first with a enlightened greater restoration, just to see if he's getting controlled, to try to expunge the evil. Because Deimos doesn't actually want to kill things if they're not bad, and I'm just like,
Deimos says, Tempest says, begone, evil spirits.
Okay. As you touch him, you feel a significant presence within him, resisting you.
Pull it out.
The power of this creature is a higher level demon has kind of taken over and mutated and twisted whatever this patient once was. That's why his head is a skull.
Okay, so there's no way that we could think about of pulling this
Deimos,
demon
you
out.
could poke him with me.
Yeah, grab an Adis and I start poking him with it.
And I will hold out the hell spike, and maybe since this is the gray one, it can save him since he's like possessed.
Yeah, we're trying to save this Stapation
Yeah.
dude. We're not trying to kill him. How we exercise a
Wait, wait.
devil?
Deimos, maybe you could tear open space into his innards and
Yes.
stick me in to stab just the demon.
Okay, yeah. So I use that. The fifth whatever thing that for the what's it called? For the greater restoration to just do that, just to be like, it's like as I cast this like divine shit, and I'm just like, and I tear it open a little bit into his soul, and I'm just like, I see you in there, you little asshole. They're gonna pull you right out. Crab person. We're gonna pull you out, and I'm gonna have this man right here in my other hand. I'm gonna throw him at you or poke you with him, and then he's gonna poke you with his poking thing in his hand, and you're not gonna make it. And that's what's happening.
Okay. So he takes his massive pincer and tries to stop you, Deimos. Oh yeah, so here's the rest of the picture. I don't know if you see the rest of the picture. He got a really big pincer. He wraps it around your finger as you try to poke him, and he tries to like crush your finger, but and there's significant force being deployed onto your hand, Deimos. You look down, and you even see little droplets of your blood pooling up around where he's clamped on in your finger. And he says, and you hear his voice say,
Take move.
"No one pokes Krabby. Krabby does poking, as Krabby will poke all merfolk. Krabby will take over these oceans. Die!
Krabby.
Slay them all!" He shouts out.
Deimos, he wants to fuck your girl.
I don't have one. The only thing I have is I already poked this guy, and I'm ripping out his soul. The demon
Alright.
soul like an asshole.
Alright, so you're gonna have to roll. So are we gonna try to rip a hole into him?
I'm gonna try to rip a hole into his soul to pull out the other soul.
So that I can stab the demon
Yeah,
part.
that's the main plan.
Yeah. He's gonna try to open a path for me to stab just the demon with the
Mhm.
hell spike.
Yep.
So we don't kill the crab.
Alright, Deimos. You have to roll a sleight of hand check to see if you can tear a
Sleight of
micro
hand check.
a micro tear into space and time.
Did you not know that I am Batman?
Plus
Alright.
six. It's plus 66 just to whatever you roll in the d20.
Yes.
So 75. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. That'd just be a 59. He said sleight of hand, not stealth.
Oh, I think it's just what's my sleight of hand? Oh, it's the exact same.
Alright.
Okay, so 59.
Alright.
And then, just to make Midas happy,
Never mind.
hey, I did. It's using a little bit of that spark, so it's helping a little bit.
Make him run, man.
Alright. So you're trying to tear a small hole in space and time inside this creature so
Mhm.
Adis can stick his spike into it.
Yeah, either
Yep.
that or we can find it easier just to rip this demon guy out somehow. We
No,
don't
'cause
know how to do.
didn't we have to fight him? I'd just soon kill him. He's weaker when he's possessing someone.
We'll do either or, whichever one we think we can do.
Alright, Deimos, so the 59 that gets you. Alright, okay, I mean, I'm trying to imagine how it would work. That's just to see how well you can control your strength, and having torn space and time a few times now, you've gotten pretty familiar with the process. So you close your eyes, reach out in front of you, and using the very tips of your fingertips, like tear a very small hole.
Just a little
Like,
one.
like for you, it's like the size of a pinhead. To Adis, it's the size. It's about 6 inches in diameter, a hole, in space and time, and you can feel a crabby as he's clamped onto your fingertip, Deimos. He kind of like he kind of shudders a little bit. What is that? What is that?
Hear him.
He's like, inside me I feel, emptiness, void.
Yeah.
All right.
So, as I shove Aegis into you, I'm very sorry.
Okay. So Adis, do you have the hell spike?
I do.
All right, you got a 6-inch hole in space and time in front of you that goes right
So
into Krabby's chest.
can I see the demon part in him, or
Looking into the hole, you see, with a little bit of the light that's coming off of Deimos's shimmery skin, you can reflecting into the hole. You see a small, spindly kind of demon, insect-like.
sorry, Elwin, you're fucking goddamn. Fuck you, Elwin.
Yes, you can see a small spider-like demon inside the torso of Krabby.
I will stab it with the hell spike, or try anyway.
All right, roll an attack.
I'm assuming the hell spike's a dagger.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will spark that just because I want to make sure that I hit this motherfucker. Oh, it didn't work.
Well, the 20
Oh.
20 is good enough. That's a hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you shove the spike into the portal that Deimos has created, right into the thorax of this spider-like creature. It spazzes and freaks out, and you hear this sizzling death
Okay.
just kind of overcome it. Krabby just kind of convulses a little bit, and he drops down onto his knees as the demon's influence fades from his eyes.
And I will say you have been freed by the light of Tempest.
The Tempest, here is your pamphlet.
And I put it over his eyes so when he opens them, the first thing he sees is the pamphlet of Tempest.
You hear Tempest who's on your other shoulder, Deimos. He goes, "Oh," as he puts his hand to his forehead.
You just got millions of more followers, Tempest. Congrats.
Krabby opens his eyes again, and his head is no longer like a skull. It actually looks like crustacean-ish, like it naturally should. And it twists his head a little bit, trying to glare, trying to observe the pamphlet in front of you, and he opens his mouth and eats it.
He's already carving up. Good
And then-
chess.
And then he kind of like crouches down to the ground and finds a rock and just starts like bopping his head into the rock, and you hear gurgling sounds coming from him.
Okay. I'll holler at Depation 1 and be like, you're in charge now. Tell your army to retreat.
He says, "Oh, I see you have returned Krabby to his original form. He never was the brightest one amongst us. We kind of just ignored him most of the time."
But now we're friends. I decree, by the decree of Tempest and the other god Owen, that, unless they say otherwise, Depation and Merfolk now work together, for we must save Lunaria from that hole in the middle. We shall plug it, as Ron Jeremy once said.
Jesus Christ.
It's only 4 inches from
Okay.
the ground.
From the ground. And all around you, you see Depations regarding you, and then behind you, you see you feel a swirl of force as united the 3 tide shard bearers arrive.
Deimos, I whisper in his ear, if they do anything stupid, crush them.
Deimos, you do anything to my future wife, I'll fuck you up.
Okay. if they do anything stupid, crush Lamprax.
There's an unsteady tension as the rulers of the merfolk face off against the Depation hordes.
Deimos, this is
I
the
yell
point
to
where you
stop.
tell. This is the point where you tell the fish they need to fucking apologize.
I yell out,
I'm like, I am Deimos. Deimos, the friend of the friends, because we're all friends. You everybody, we need to stop. the Patians were controlled by evil. We've saved it just like your Empress lady. We need you to stop, for there's not only 3 tide shards, there's 4 tide shards.
The patient one. The 3 guys we crunched into a basketball.
Are you gonna?
You hand that to him.
For now, we are one combined ocean. The tide shard of light and sparkles. The tide shard of ringing and telling people what to do. The tide shard of I don't know what it does yet. And the tide shard of the mega. For we will make this ocean great again.
Build the wall.
Build the wall around the void, or we will save it.
The patient one, he steps up.
Hold on, Elwin.
Yeah?
Can you mass cast the indisputable fact?
Yes.
You should mass cast it to make everyone think that that's actually the patient tide shard.
I'm gonna cast indisputable fact that she wants to marry me.
I think she already did, didn't she?
All right, so a couple things happen. The patient one says, "Rulers of the merfolk, our kind used to live in harmony when the gods lived in the waters and in the skies above." He says, "But since then, in the years of strife, we have killed each other, slain each other. Many have fallen on both sides of our conflict. This one," and he points to you, Deimos, "has asked us to put down our claws and pincers and seek peace in the ocean. Will you no longer look down upon our kind? No longer take our young for shells and decorations? No longer use us for your entertainment?"
Before anyone responds, I'm gonna go next to Deimos. I'm actually gonna pull myself with my tether towards Deimos.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna address him directly. You say when the gods were in the skies and the ocean, do you not see those before you? I am Elwyn, fire god from the sky. I'm gonna look over for General Roman to back me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, General
And do you
Roman
not see
is there.
Deimos, the god of the ocean that has brought us all together? It is a time of peace when all communities must unite and fight the one thing that brought them all. All awe, everyone.
Okay. Corinna speaks first. She says, "It distresses me to hear that your people have been persecuted so. Truly, I knew none of this, for I have been in hiding, and my people hunted, ever since the Maw arrived as well. So in some sense, I empathize with your pain. Believe me," she says, she bows to the patient. She says, "My people, I and my people, mean you no ill will." And she looks to both to Death Lord Lamprax and Queen Delvinia. He says, "We agree, don't we?" Lamprax, he scowls at you, Elwyn and Deimos, and he says, "These creatures are beneath us. But, for the sake of peace, we of the Vortalen will yield."
Actually give Deathprax a boon.
I'm like, Deathprax, there's no need to be bitchy right now. For I Deimos, friend of Elwyn, friend of Adus, friend of many, I have cured your erectile dysfunction and added
Oh my
3
God.
inches. Your anger is gone. Praise Tempest. For these are things I will say I can do
Elwyn,
until I am no longer
indisputable
dead.
fact it to make Death Lord Lamprex think his dick's 3 inches longer.
No, I did it. I did it.
Deimos already did it, but I
I
will
did it.
say, see what Deimos says is
I'm
now
back.
done. You are no
You-
longer
You
mad of
So
when
he-
I kicked your ass a
So
couple of days ago.
So
You
he's-
are only now slightly salty.
So Lamprex. So you've seen him. So right now he's in battle form. You've seen him in travel form when he goes into like this spear like kind of like very very agile fish thing, and then but then his eyes go wide and he shifts again and he shifts into reproduction form, which is and you see him and pull back a couple scales at his crotch level, and he says, "It's true, it's true." He says, "Queen Delvinia, I have come to seek your hand in marriage. Let us unite our two peoples together." Queen Delvinia, on the other hand, you guys all look at her, and she's floating there. Her jellyfish-like tendrils kind of just arrayed out, and you can see a look of anger across her face. She says, "You would declare peace with these mongrels. These creatures are disgusting. They are not worthy of my presence. They are not worthy of my kindness nor charity. Lamprax has said it right. They are beneath us, and I will have none of this."
Well, Miss Queen Delvinia, whom I so graciously spared your life, Corinna and Lamprax have both yielded the field. Do you wish to face the Depatians alone? Because we will not help you.
Let's not go there. Queen Delvinia, you and I have gotten to know each other.
She looks at you all a second. She says, "Somewhat."
Join
Right.
both princesses together in an Elwyn
Did we not
matrimony.
promise the first time we met that we would save your people?
She says, "You did."
Everything that we have told you, we have provided.
She says,
Even though you put us through trials, tribulations, me against Death Lord, against the other people of Worthy. And at the end, what did I do? After I won, after I went through all your trials and beat everyone, I ceded my place because I knew that was the best for your people. Do you think going to war, keeping this, when we must unite, keeping this war against the Patians, do you think that's the best? Because I don't.
"Persuasion check."
I'm good at those.
It's a high DC. She's not very she's not very
You know what?
amenable.
Hold on. First, I'm gonna lucky, and then I'm gonna. Here, I'll roll just a d20 because I have foresight. Okay, so 11 plus 18. Oh, 3. So a lot.
Okay.
87.
So you are standing before her, Elwyn. You deploy the full force of your will, and using your spark to the highest extent, you seek out the truth. you seek out the reality, and gazing at Queen Delvinia, you see beneath the exterior of a haughty, kind of spoiled socialite. You see deep down um, the the heart of a or the yeah the heart and mind of a scared, insecure young female um,
Sorry.
who's never really been able to live up to the expectations that were placed on her, and has fled into this lifestyle of putting others down and manipulating her status and the status of people around her to gain favor in other people's eyes.
Knowing that, I'll push on a bit further. I tell her, there's no more need to be scared. People stand beside you now. You can grow to your potential of the great queen that we all know you can be. Come, accept the facts. There's no more need to be scared.
She looks at she makes eye contact with you, Elwyn, right? And she raises her hand, her right hand, and she touches the crystal that's held at the bracelet on her wrist. And as she touches it, a high-pitched ting kind of passes through the waters all around you, around like emanating from her. Every creature, the million plus Depatians, the armies of the Votalans, and the people from the city of Lumos kind of hear as she summons her tide shard and activates it to the full extent of its ability. Its power is amplified now that all three tide shards have been rejoined to each other. And she says, "Creatures, citizens of Lunaria, denizens beneath the waves, let there no longer be war and bloodshed. Let there no longer be mistreatment of other living folk. Yes. I, Queen Delvinia, and the other monarchs beneath the waves, recognize the Depatians as our kin, created by the gods."
Ooh, did my shit just kick out?
No, I still hear you. Just, let us go forth together in peace to make this ocean great again. And all around you guys, the cries of affirmation and support from all the hordes and the multitudes and throngs of civilians and war and battle and armies and all the various levels of society affirm what the Queen has said. Death Lord Lamprax raises his trident, although he's in reproduction form, so he looks kind of ridiculous.
I imagine him with a red rocket.
Red rocket, red rocket.
And Princess Karina likewise raises her hands in support and jubilation.
I'm gonna show her my red rocket.
All right, the Depatians' onslaught has ceased. Their leader has been destroyed, and you have all three of the tide shards reunited.
I say to everybody, like the four leaders, along with Deimos, I think he's just scratching his ass.
I'm over here.
Well,
I'm scratching my...
I think that today we shall declare a day of celebration. On this day every year shall be known as the merging. When all four shards, sorry, were merged together once again, and the power of the creatures under the waters is united. Tonight, we celebrate. Tomorrow, we plan on shutting down that void.
The people, there's a hushed tone for a minute as the people consider what you said, and then a cheer goes out as Queen, as I guess she's a queen now, Queen Corinna swims up, extending herself to her full height. She touches the amulet around her neck and activates it. And you can see the swirling of water just kind of like spiral around her, creating a great current, a very focused current at her hands. And she says, "It can be done. People, I believe, and now with my tide shard recovered," she says, "let us reverse this maw and bring peace back to our oceans." The
Oh, dude, that's sweet.
her tide shard is the might of the sea. Queen Delvinia's is the voice of the sea. Deplord Lamprex is the light of the sea. Hers is the might of the sea. She controls the currents and the water itself.
Since my thing's gonna run out, I first off try to remember how this happens. So if some crazy shit happens in the future, we can try to go back to Giganto Deimos. But this shard thing, or this basketball of megaliths, I guess we gave these guys.
Yeah.
Can Deimos try to drain the rest of because Deimos is gonna shrink down by the time we have time to do anything.
Okay.
He's gonna try to shove all this massive Deimos power into this the ball, and try to enhance it or give it abilities that will help them. So
What power would you like to imbue into it?
I was thinking the same thing, Deimos.
Yes.
I was actually gonna say, Deimos, make something out of this thing.
Oh,
All right, so we got the glittery shard. We have the ding shard where she gets everyone's attention.
Yeah.
We have the.
She can
the
command
power-
people too.
What's the glitter shard do? What's its real power?
He doesn't know. So you guys get the feeling. You guys get the feeling. So you got a hint of it when Corinna was talking about her mother. Her mother tried to use the tide shard, but she wasn't the rightful ruler, and she only got very little effect from it. Deplord Lamprex cannot activate the full might of his tide shard.
oh shit, damn Flo, give it to your sister. I'm sorry.
What would we get? Well, there's still some land. And these crab people. Crabs can live on land.
Hey, Deimos.
Right.
Ooh, give it the
Deimos.
power to shape
Yeah, it's like
the land.
the land shaping and leg ability for squats.
So you're
Yeah,
giving it
like
the power
land.
to reshape
Like-
Earth.
To reshape Earth, yeah.
All right.
Reshape Earth anywhere the water touches.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you focus all of your awakened power into it. So you've got, I don't know, half of it left. Maybe, like 40 minutes of it left. No, it would have been about half an hour. There's no way you guys could have done all that in 15 minutes. And you all this awakened power. So this is beyond divine. What you have flowing through your body right now. This is the vestige of Adis's miracle in action, accessing basically the very core of reality. Divine power, arcane power, infernal power. All those things are just echoes of the that try to affect the world around it. What you're doing is you're tampering with the very substance of the world itself.
Before you do that, Deimos, leave 0.001% of it so you can touch me,
Yeah.
and I can rearrange my spell list again, because now
Yes.
with my staff...
Well, obviously, I already told Midas that I was doing that. I think my mic cut out, and that's why he didn't hear it. So that's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. You reach out, you touch Elwyn briefly for a split second, and Elwyn, your mind just kind of blips real quick, and you can redo your spell list, and then you shove the rest of your energy into the basketball-sized crystal, the condensed megalith essence, and you dump the remaining power of your awakened might into it, and it becomes basically the fourth tide shard under the oceans. The three of them were given; they have theirs because they were given to them by the god Verkul, but because of your awakened might, you've created one equal power to theirs, and and it has like you said, it has the ability to reshape land anywhere that the water touches. So, Depation 1, he needs a name. I don't have a name for him. He joins the monarchs.
Yay! Now we're all friends. Praise Tibbers.
Also, Deimos, you shrink back to your normal.
Ewan, why are these ladies still in my pants?
It's alright. There's nothing to fear, Deimos.
Yeah.
That happens.
I'm so confused. Like, there's like 17 of them in my underwear right now. I don't know how my underwear is still fine.
You give them an eviction notice. You gotta give them 30 days, but...
Okay. The people all around you, and all the Depatians and all the merfolk, all three civilizations, the Anwenians, the Votellans, and the Lumosians, they all cheer, and they begin to try to figure out what life now looks like. There's a million of these Depatians, and they had to find a place. So they, the envoys go back and forth, and there's lots of planning to be done, a lot of reorganizing to be done. But all the civilizations are committed to working together now.
Hey, Deimos. Before your power wears off, you should see if you can do something about that hole.
Oh, I think they said they had. So we made the tide shards, so they're all together. So I think they said that they could figure out a way to stop it.
Yeah. Another thing. Your future wife, Deimos, we need to talk to her.
Oh yeah, I still need something that may or may not be inside of a random room, which no one's allowed to talk about.
You should ask the queen for that as a reward.
Deimos, you feel a couple tentacles wrap around your waist.
Oh, really? Dead fish.
Elwyn. It's Elwyn again, remember?
Oh, wait, Aaron. You get slimy. Did you get the mayonnaise again? You silly man.
you hear
Oh.
you hear her come up to you.
Aaron.
She says, "Lover, I saw you when you were so large,
Wait,
and it made all my tentacles
already in my
squirm."
pants.
Midas.
Yeah.
If I have this spell, I'm totally doing this to Deimos because it will be epic. Where is it? It's the illusion spell where you can basically want to cast an illusion on Deimos to make her look and sound just like Elwyn.
Oh, well, the thing is, like, she's already like, it's just like dramatic stress. Like, we already got this going on.
Yeah, but it's gonna look like Elwyn with tentacles coming out of his robes.
You're weird.
It's pretty weird. Yeah, but yeah, you got a stress, like, survivor syndrome thing going on with her, Deimos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron, so I don't know. where that squid lady is, but I still need to get into that one room and get that rod thing, or what I was told to get.
She says, "And do you remember what you promised me once we go to the Queen's private vault?"
Yeah, well, I know what I told you we were gonna do, but I tell you what, the squid lady thinks I'm gonna just wreck that. You know, just like take something and just shove it somewhere and just go to town. But if you see her, let's just say Apollonia pineapple, I will catch on right away. But we should really sneak in there right now before anybody finds out.
I'm gonna step in real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, Sivarizi.
Oh, what's up, Owen?
She
Hey,
says,
Deimos.
Oh,
"Yes,
shit, wait.
Selvine."
We must speak privately.
"Is it about our betrothal? Because Deimos and I have plans."
It is not. It is about something more important than that.
More important, well, I do broker in information, so I am curious to see what you have to say.
Then let us get away from prying ears. Deimos,
Yeah,
come along.
okay.
Do you guys need something private, Owen, where you can't be spied on?
Deimos is going
Yes.
back to like the last like
I'll
10
make
things he
him-
drank
I'll
because
make
he's
them
feeling really drunk. He's seen
I'll
two
make-
Elwins.
Okay.
I'll make them a tiny hut to go into.
Okay.
That's half of it, or an area inside of it big enough for Varisi is water. Because I
Okay.
don't know if she can breathe air.
All right. You go in, and you also see that she activates a couple of noise-producing devices on her wrists, and that she brings. They're sound cancellation. She's the what do you call it? The Minister of Secrets and Information in this city. So she's also making sure that no one can interfere.
All right. Well, Littlefinger, I think we might need your help.
Yes.
All of the shards brought back together. I'm sure you've noticed that one of them has not reached its potential.
She says, "Are you speaking of the Vortalin Tide Shard, the one born by Depth Lord Lambrax?"
Yes.
"Yes, it is a matter of some rumor, but the Depth Lord has been good about quenching anyone who does say or even accuse him of having inadequate access to his powers."
Well, this is exactly why I asked you here. He is not the rightful owner of that shard. And since peace has been going for just an hour, I do not want to create chaos. But we need to get the shard to its rightful owner. What do you think the best way to go about this?
She pauses for a second. She says, "Lambrax is indeed not the rightful bearer of the Tide Shard," she says. "There is an element of Vortalin law that says that the rightful heir is the firstborn daughter, for females in that society are deemed to have more control of their emotions and ability to govern more fairly."
Is there also a law that can make us enforce Depth the Lord to give up the shard?
She says, "It is a matter of age. Once his sister has come of age, she would rightfully inherit it, at least if he plans to follow his own traditions."
How long is that?
She says, "The young one, Lamprey, I believe she may be the oldest daughter. I would have to have my spies confirm that. But she looks to be some 10 and 4 years old. That would mean a matter of 2 years and she would come into her own.
Now, when I had the soul shard in my, the tide shard in my possession, his army followed my orders because I was in possession. So if we were to take it from him and provide it to her, do you think his forces would shift their loyalty?
She pauses. She says, "It is possible. She is the rightful bearer of the shard, but he does have a great amount of support amongst the military might of their civilization."
What if I get Queen Delvinia to marry that asshole in exchange for the soul shard to go to his sister?
She says, "That would be a considerable bargaining chip. He does seek an alliance between the peoples."
But he'll really have no power afterwards.
"He has military power and authority now. He would only increase his influence as King Regent of Lumos."
Severisi, in your wise and knowing ways, do you think everyone would benefit not having him in any sort of power?
She smiles a little bit. She says, "Lamprex is a blunt instrument. A hammer, if you will. Even hammers have their use from time to time. True, he is boisterous and has risen above his station, subverted some authority of his own, and spoken in universal terms that he should not. But his people are a broken people, and they have looked up to him and accepted his guidance." She says, "If we could forestall him from doing anything and making any major decisions, when Lamprey comes into her own, she would inherit the tide shard. However,
There's no time.
if you need to activate it now, she could do so. It will take some maneuvering for him to give it up, but perhaps we can come up with something that he desires more than the tide shard."
Severisi, that is where you come in. Can I trust on you to come up with a plan?
She pauses for a second and she says, "Yes, I have some ideas. Betrothal to Queen Delvinia might be just the thing. I believe that was your idea, but it has a great deal of merit. I will investigate."
And Deimos is looking forward to marrying the shit out of you.
She says, "I cannot wait. It will be
But,
glorious."
Severisi, there's one condition to that.
"Yes?"
I know that in this form that you currently hold, Deimos is not very fond of tentacles, and that's why I have put in his mind, I'll come clean, that every time Deimos sees her, that's why Deimos thinks it's me. So you might be able to get closer to him and maybe kind of win him over. But those, and I point at her tentacles, might be a problem. Is there anything you can do about that?
She looks a look of shock, of misunderstanding, and then of sadness kind of like crosses her face. She says, "Do you mean that he does not care for me as I am?"
He cares for you, but there's a deep-seated event that happened before you ever came into his life that is buried deep within him. Nothing, no fault of yours.
She says, "Would I be more acceptable to him if I were as you are, no tentacles, but with legs and land-dwelling. She kind of points at your feet. She's like, land-dwelling flippers.
If that is something that you are willing to give up in order to be with him, everyone's got to make sacrifices.
She pauses and she thinks about it. She says, there are legends. They tell of a sea witch who lives far in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, who can turn people of our kind into the shape and the form of land dwellers. Perhaps, in order for me to be more acceptable to Deimos, I should seek her out and see if she will work her magic upon me.
Oh, you don't need a witch. I could do it for you.
You think that witch might turn Karina into keep that fat ass, but give her some legs?
Deimos sticks his head in, like he actually overheard that part because he heard fat ass.
He says, I think that would be a very acceptable option, given the circumstances of the maw. Don't ask questions. It's a flotation device.
Hey, Deimos,
Yeah,
do you want a fat ass too on your chick?
dude. I fucking about them fat asses. You know it, bro.
She says,
Severisi.
she goes up to Deimos. Deimos, she
There's your two Edwins in here. I was talking. Edwin, what are you doing right now?
I'm talking to myself, Deimos. Hold on.
Weirdest thing ever. Edwin, you in these illusions, they're quite good. I see two of you right now. Well,
Hey,
I'm
Deimos.
Yes.
Can you give me a chimichanga?
Dude, bro, I got you.
And I'll go outside. and get
Severisi?
Jimmy Tyler.
yes.
Well, what do you say?
She says, to be with him, I would do anything.
Now, in dealing with Death Lord, he is the king of his people at the moment. I would like to avoid committing regicide, so let's find another way.
Elwin, he's not the rightful ruler, so it's not regicide.
She does she nods and she says, I will come up with something. I must talk to the queen and see where her intentions lie.
I hold out my hand and I say, I don't know if this is a gesture of trust among your people, but if you shake my hand, then we are committing a pact, trusting each other.
And you will help me win the heart of Deimos?
I will absolutely help you win the heart of Deimos if you're able to get yourself a fat ass.
Zivarisi, I can do that for you right now. If you would like to experiment with it and see if you like it. You have an hour.
She looks at you, she says, deal. And she reaches out and she takes your hand, Elwin. She says, and I will ignore the obvious sexual suggestion that you are trying to offer me right now with the touching of our hands in flesh.
Deal. So, back to what my friend Adis was offering. Would you like to experiment for an hour and see how Deimos reacts?
She looks at you, Adis, and she nods. She says, yes, please work your magic upon me and give me this land-dwelling flippers and fat ass.
I'll true polymorph her into
J-Lo, bro.
to J-Lo. Yeah, but I will keep gills and
Hold on. Before you do that, I know Deimos. Is Deimos more of a J-Lo, which is a controlled fat ass, is like toned and nice? Or into a Nicki Minaj kind of junk?
See,
less control.
Deimos is about the
Do you wanna-
fat
do you-
ass that
do you
could like
wanna-
wear like
You want
that
a
Nike
fat ass?
outfit.
You want a fat ass or a jiggly ass?
Oh
Fat
no, no, no.
jiggly
He
or
wants
fat
that
firm?
workout fat. See, Deimos is about
So
preserving
J-Lo.
stuff. Like in 5 years, like he still wants that still to be good.
So he wants a J-Lo ass.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me show you something. I'm glad I'm on this computer because I don't have it on my other one.
Are you serious? There's things you only have on this computer. Is this your private viewing computer?
No, this is my laptop, the one that before I build my gaming computer. All right, I put it on Discord. That type of ass, Deimos?
It's the weirdest thing. It's like Deimos is yes. Like,
Is that
why is
cosplay like a
Deimos still
bizarre?
looking at that?
You're still looking at it, Deimos.
Deimos is like, what's going on here? Deimos
What was
is
that
over
from
here
BlizzCon
right
or
now.
something?
Yeah.
Jeez, did she win? I hope she won.
I don't know if she won, but damn.
She probably didn't because everybody was like, it's not fair because she actually didn't have a costume on. She was just better looking than everybody.
I don't know. That's pretty good cosplay.
Yeah, it was good in my book.
Jeez. All right.
Alright, I'll true polymorph the Zavarishi into that, and then remove the illusion from Deimos.
Okay.
But I'll keep her with gills so she won't suffocate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the little flap things, like like Aquaman has in his toes and hands, so she can still swim.
Okay.
So
So you,
I'll go and introduce her to Deimos. Deimos,
Yes, sir.
I would like to introduce you to the real Sivarisi.
2.0.
She is the one that's going to
Where is
become
she
your
at?
wife.
What are we talking about?
I have her walk around so you can
Just
take
like
a look
that?
at that ass. Yeah.
Deimos is pouring so much cold water in his wiener right now.
Oh
I'll
no,
look-
something's wrong, Aaron. Aaron, something wrong is going on right now.
Deimos, did I get the measurements right on the butt?
It's perfect. And we
Deimos.
speak of my
Deimos pulls out his protractor and his little thing they stick in their eye when they look at jewelry, and I do the measurements.
Deimos,
Alright.
yeah.
there's a hut here, and Sivarisi would like to talk to you
You
for an
said
hour.
that you could have sworn
Yeah.
you saw Deimos, but
And I will darken the dome.
Deimos is already gone.
No, Zivri, she says, no, Deimos. She says, not here. You and I have
Who are
a
you?
predetermined meeting location.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
Zivarishi, we can have this last for 59 minutes, or if we go beyond that, it becomes permanent unless someone more powerful than me dispels it.
She says, she nods. She says, so I must inform you within the hour of whether or not I want it to be permanent.
Correct.
Perhaps, she says, could there be some modifications to this form?
Of course.
In this current, she looks at her her hands. She says, I seem to be unable to access the information networks and tendrils that my kind have set up all throughout the oceans.
What physiological feature of yours allows you to do that?
She says, there are organs at the base of our brains, in the crook of our necks, that give us this ability, this empathic, somewhat electric ability.
Alright, let me try this again, and I will true polymorph her and attempt to leave that in place.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. This would be more like a medicine check. It's a physiological thing.
I do still have that left because I haven't used it. Alright. let's just go medicine,
Ooh.
and I will spark that shit.
Yep. You got it.
So,
So same form.
oh, but before I do it, ask her if she would like any other physiological changes, like, anything adjusted, increased or decreased in size, so forth and so on, except for the butt, because that's like perfect. Deimos said it was perfect.
She says, "No, I rather like this form. It is."
All right.
She says, "I do miss my tentacles. I could accomplish many things at the same time, with 10 appendages." However,
I could give you 10 arms. Deimos doesn't have a problem with arms.
No, that'd just be weird.
Okay.
she says, "But this seems to be more. Would this form be able to travel on land?"
Yes. Because I did it so there's like gills in the neck, kind of like
Okay.
that one spell that you can do, the alter self, that lets you have gills. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
she
it's
could
both.
breathe water and air.
Okay. So she's good with it. So
All right.
she says, "I will let you know within the hour."
Alrighty.
All right. So
Then
Deimos,
I'm gonna go.
she walks over, she reaches into the hut and grabs your hand and says, "Deimos, the
Yes.
queen is not using her vaults at the moment.
Loser, let's get that thing I need to get.
Would
I
you
have
care
no
to
idea
join
who
me
you are.
in
Well,
the
yeah,
royal in the royal treasury?"
I have no idea what we're gonna do. But I do. I need to grab something. Let's go.
I messaged
So-
Deimos to remember about my famous Elwyn technique.
Yes. Oh, wait. What do I need that for? Am I trying to jackhammer my way through a core of a planet?
If you are going to make Sivarisi scream with
A
pleasure,
workout?
Deimos.
Is this a workout routine?
Yes,
Okay.
including, but you're gonna use Sivarisi.
Oh,
Remember, you need to
freelance. I
rub
get
it while you're
Damn it.
thrusting.
Rubbing, thrust. I got you, bro. Yeah, this
So-
is gonna totally
so-
work my
so-
lower
she-
back muscles.
As you're walking away, as you get walking off with her, she says, "Although I believe something is wrong in this form, I find myself not very dry at all." And she's walking away.
It's the weirdest time. So confused right now. But yes, I shall steal the thing in this chamber, which I was sent originally to get.
Well, all right, so let's see. It's midnight now. So you guys are leaving. We'll leave off here. You and Jivarishi are retreating to the Queen's vaults. The four rulers of the underwater nations have come together and are trying to establish a peaceable environment for their people. The tide shards, and now that you've activated you guys with your awakened power, you're able to do this. They were the broken apart pieces, separated pieces of Verkel's vigil. And just like the vigils on Elysium, a gatekeeper, a divine gatekeeper, needs to be appointed. So Akelia became the gatekeeper of Elysium, being a divinity, and she was able to open the portal to the next realm. You need a divine being to become to reestablish the deity, the divine, what do you call it, authority in this realm, to open up the gate to the next section.
Tempest.
Now, is it just the Verkel one, or is it the Verkel and there's the Saloon Lady? We need both of them, or just the Verkel?
You needed both. You need both because of the like on Elysium, you needed to activate all three vigils. You need to do the same thing here.
Dude, this would have been so much harder without that miracle, but
Yeah.
we're down to one.
I know.
We did so much with that miracle, though.
That saved us so much
We
time,
did such-
and we didn't
Midas.
get murdered.
That was
Before
pretty
we
cool.
go-
Deimos tearing space and time.
That was epic.
The funny thing is that you've been trying to do that for like months.
Well, the thing is, you gotta play in character all the time.
You've been trying to tear space and time for a while.
Midas, before we go, I wanted
Yeah.
to go find General Roman.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go head out.
All right.
I got
Night,
a
Deimos.
long ass day. But hey, thank you so
Yeah.
much for running. Good seeing you guys.
Yeah, man.
Danny,
Deimos,
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Deimos, the Ripper of space and time.
are you gonna make it tomorrow?
50-50. I might be a little bit late. I think I'll be like an hour late.
Sweet. All right.
All right. What do you say to General Roman, real quick?
Oh, I was just gonna go surrender to him. Because I did, try to kill their queen.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't try to kill her, but
Yeah.
You did kill her, but you know what?
I
Can we
did
do
not.
that next
I
week?
did not
Yeah.
kill
Yeah.
her.
We can do it next week.
Well, I just wanted Midas to know in case I forget that that's what I wanted to do.
Well, that's where we'll leave off. We'll pick up next week. Cool.
All right, cool.
Thanks,
All
man.
right.
That was really fun.
Night, guys. That was fun.
That was fucking epic.
Talk to you guys next
I
week.
think that's the most exciting miracle so far.
Yeah, that's been pretty good.
Deimos worked the shit out of that.
That was awesome. That was really good. And you just steamrolled over all the bad guys I had on this world. So.
I was not expecting that at all. I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought, oh wait, he's got the super strength. He might be able to rip space and time.
Yeah, that
and
was
then he
pretty
did
good.
it, and I was like, oh my god, what have I created?
It makes sense.
All right,
I mean, it
guys.
made
I'll
sense.
see you guys next week.
All right.
See you next
Later,
week,
man.
Dylan.